comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Here they are.
My sentiments.
Hello, Annie.
Hiya, Fred.
I had a little. We've been using Google to get in, and they said they no longer supported that, so they wanted me to copy and paste onto either Chrome or Safari.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's okay. I know how to copy, but I don't know how to paste. So I had to. I went back and I went directly into Safari without going through Google. So looks like they're having controversies.
Good grief. All right, well, let's take our comfortable seat. Make sure that you have props close by if you need them, block or strap. If anybody wants block or strap, just let me know. I have, tons here, so I can certainly give them out. Or you can order through whatever channel you get these things from. So again, it's a nice comfortable seat. Let your sits bones root to the earth. Let your ribs maybe lift from the waistline. Shoulders can lift up, back, and down. Taking a couple rounds of breath. Noticing that when we come to that alignment with the spine, just how much fuller your breath can be. How much deeper the breath is. When we kind of slow our mind down and really start to focus on the breath, we can be aware of the length of the inhale. Be aware of the length of the exhale. And again, when we lift the ribs and kind of draw the shoulders and even the neck comes in alignment, there's studies that say that can allow for about 30% more breath, more air coming into the body, more oxygen coming into the body, which helps the muscles, it helps your mind. Anytime you're feeling stressed or you just want to check your lung capacity, do these little alignment adjustments first, and then noticing the inhale and noticing the exhale. You can keep your eyes closed if you like. We're going to slowly start to transition the left hand towards the belly, the right hand towards your heart or towards the midline a little bit. Continue to breathe. Your left hand maybe feels the belly breath. Your right hand maybe feels your heartbeat. Taking a moment just to connect your mind with your body and your spirit. And then slowly, let's start to release the hands. Let's take them out to the side and up overhead with a full breath. And then exhale, hands maybe come down towards the heart or back out to the sides, whatever feels more natural for you. Couple of times here, full breath in, long breath out. Let's come to our twist. Let the arms reach high overhead and then twisting over to the right side. Hands kind of draw towards the floor. And then back, inhale through center to the left. So when you're coming into this twist, make sure you're not dropping through the shoulders or dropping through the head. Your head, neck, and eyes can even look in each direction that you're turning to. Inhale through center, exhale with the twist. Good, we're gonna do one more to each side. Try and take that left waistline to the right as far as you can, vice versa. And then let's all meet up to center whenever you're there. Good. Right hand comes to the floor, left arm brings you up and over. So as we come to this side body stretch, keep your sits bones rooted to the floor. So if that left side gets light, root it back down and then switching to the second side. Inhale through center, exhale with the fold. Watch where your neck is. Try and keep your gaze looking straight ahead so there's awareness to the neck. Don't drop the chin in or drop it towards the floor. Good, last one to each side, go all the way through, 1 and 2. And then back to center, good. So let's let the arms extend forward and then pull them back towards each other. So the elbows go back. Watch that your heart's not popping forward or your neck doesn't come forward too much. So draw your neck back so it's right in alignment on top of your spine. Inhale the arms forward. Exhale, elbows go back. Keep the shoulders low so the elbows stay low. Inhale and exhale. Good, and then next time the elbows are back, hold them there. Let's cross the arms over the chest. Really pull those arms in the opposite direction so you get the elbows to stack and then arms open back out, opposite arm on top. Pull them in the opposite direction, get those elbows to stack. Alternate top arm. Try to bring those shoulder blades forward and then take them back towards each other on the back body. Alternate that top arm each time. Good, one more to each side. And then let the arms go. Good. Give a little wiggle, shake it off a little bit. So while we're still in the seated position here, move your legs at any point if you need to. We'll come to tabletop here in a moment, but I just want to do a little bit of arm work. So some people may be doing more crafts or working in the yard more, so let's do some finger work here. One hand comes out in front, the other draws those fingertips back. So if the arm's straight, the stretch will be at the bottom of the forearm and bottom of the wrist. And then let the fingers drop towards the floor, same idea, you're kind of pulling them back. Yeah, I pressure washed the patio back there, so I really feel it through my forearm and through the wrist. Woo-hoo. Good, and then we're gonna release that. Let your thumb massage from the elbow down along the top of the hand, pinky side of the hand. If you want to, you can get into the forearm, like, oh boy, mine's super tight. That, oh God. Feels pretty good though. Get into that thumb pad area, flipping the palm over so you get to the open palm, the thumb pad there, and then into each finger. Really get in there and massage the joints of the fingers. We're looking to feel something within each joint, feeling something. So get that sensation happening. You're moving the tissue around, the muscles around enough where you're feeling some sensation there. This helps with the neuropathy that creeps in, with arthritis that creeps in, by feeling the blood flow and taking more oxygen into those spaces. Make sure you get the thumb. Good, and then we're gonna shake that hand out when you're done. Let's go to the second side. Fingers draw high, and then the opposite hand takes it back. Let the fingers drop to the floor, same idea, draw it back, forearm stretch, wrist stretch. Good, and then you can massage the forearm down to the wrist, or maybe you just come right down to the hand, whatever you feel like needs more TLC there for a moment. Just kind of get things moving here. Come to that between the pointer finger and the thumb, and then flipping it over into each finger. Again, really important just to see what you can feel there. So working around any jewelry that you have in place. And then when you're done with that hand, give a little shake off there. Let's join the fingers and then kind of push the hands out in front. So stretching the fingers there, good, and then shake it off again. And again, let's join the fingers, kind of flip the hands, push the palms away. Maybe the arms go straight or not, but that should stretch the back of the fingertips a little, or the back of the fingers a little. Good, and then let that go. Again, shake it off. Nice. Let's transition into tabletop. So hands and knees. Hands are going to be right down from the shoulders, knees are down from the hips. Make sure that your wrists are pointing forward so they're not turned out at all. That adds a little bit of extra pressure on the wrist. Let's move through cat-cow. So engaging your core around the spine, high towards the ceiling, and then dropping the belly and head and tail, try and touch. Really listening to your body, know how far to go. We warmed up the spine a little bit with the twisting and side to side. Now we'll go up and down, kind of rotate it. Keep the hands rooting down. Make sure that you're not bending the elbows. Good, one more, round the spine as high as that feels comfortable. Head and tail, try and touch. Back to neutral spine and start to wag the tail a little. Shift your hips from one side to the other. If you want a little more, you can look to your hips. So when you're crunching one side, the other side is getting a nice stretch, and vice versa. Keep your arms strong. And then we're gonna start to move it around into some circles. So the circles can be Just depends on how that feels for your wrist. Maybe you take the body a little bit forward over the wrist, or you stop short. Just depends on how that feels. Go around and around. The elbows can bend, the head shifts. And then go in the opposite direction a few times. I'm going to slowly bring everything back to center. Engage your core. Good, good. Let's come into a thread the needle. So root down through that left hand, let your right arm reach high. Now we're going to kind of pull it through. We're going to do a couple rounds of the twist first. Reach high again. Good, so let that arm kind of pull through to the left. You're reaching as far as that feels, okay? And then extend back up towards the ceiling. Good, one more pull through. One more reaching high. And now come on down to that shoulder. Rest down onto the shoulder, onto your temple. Hands could be together, or you can let that left arm come to half bind behind you. Bring the left hand to the floor, root it down to help you come back into tabletop. Good, check your alignment. Let's root that right hand really strong to the floor. Left arm reaches high and then kind of pull it through, a little bit of a twist. Reach high again. Good, pull through, twist. Reach high, pull through and twist. Reach high last time. Come on down to that shoulder. Resting your temple to the floor. You can place the palms together, maybe take the arms to straight. That kind of pushes that left shoulder away a little bit more. Or you can let that right arm come to half bind behind, opening up the shoulder that way. Bring that right hand back to the floor, root it down and bring it back into tabletop. Pop that left arm back up. Good. So here, maybe tucking the toes to give you a little bit more stability and protect your knees. Let's take the right arm and left leg out. Now find a focal point on the floor looking straight down. See if you can keep the body from moving around too much. As you find that focal point, move to the left arm, right leg. So go with your breath, alternate from one side to the other, engaging your core and find that focal point again so you can kind of minimize how much the body moves. Push through the heel, extend through the fingers. Alternating with your breath, and again, trying to find that focal point so you're not moving around too much. Pardon me. One more time each side. Good, and then back to tabletop. Let's take a child's pose for a moment. Untuck the toes if they are tucked, let your hips lead towards your heels, and then let your heart bow forward. So you can have your arms out in front of you if that feels okay, or they can come to the side. Taking a couple rounds of breath that's so big and full that maybe you feel the belly breath in between the legs. You feel the rise and fall of the breath. And then take your time, let's go back into tabletop. Hands and knees. Tuck the toes here again. Right arm, left leg, extend it out. Round your spine, elbow and knee together underneath, open back out, push through, elbow and knee together underneath, rounding the spine, then extend back out, back into tabletop, second side. Left arm, right leg, round the spine. Elbow and knee together underneath, extend back out, elbow and knee together underneath, extend out, tabletop. One more time, each side. Tuck the toes. Make sure you're breathing. I think I just forgot to breathe there for a moment. Good. Again, trying to find your core, find that focal point so you're not shifting too much through the body. Really root the hand that's to the floor down. Curl in. Back into tabletop. Nice. So now we're going to take that right arm in front and left leg out, and then extend right arm out to the right, left leg to the left. Back out in front, and again. Exhale out, back to center, tabletop. Switch left arm, right leg. Out, back to center. Exhale out, back to center. Good, tabletop, one more time each side. Engage your core, right arm, left leg. Out, back to center. Out, back to center. Good, tabletop, last time. Left arm, right leg. Out, back to center. Out, back to center. Tabletop, child's pose. Take your time. We're gonna bring the hands strong in front. Kind of a tabletop to begin. Tuck your toes for downward facing dog. When you're ready, lift the hips high, push back maybe. If the heels are lifted, that's fine. Think about your ears coming to the inside of your upper arms. So pushing through the shoulders, find that engagement. Maybe pedaling the feet here to get into the calves. Good, we're gonna come into standing. So whatever's the best way for you to get there. You can jump, hop, weep, walk, crawl, come to stand. Fix my mat here, it's got all over the place. All right. Let's do some leg work, and then we'll do some balancing. So we're gonna come in and out of Tadasana quite a bit. So taking a moment to find that strong standing pose. Your tailbone lengthens, heart lifts, feet are about hip width distance apart. Good. We're gonna take the weight to the right leg, bring that left knee up and tap the floor behind. Lift up and tap. If you can, bring that knee straight ahead of you and then tap behind. Up and tap. Good, up and tap. Two more. Good. Come to stand, go through Tadasana, strong standing pose. So if balancing is tricky, you may want to have a wall close by or a chair close by. Sorry, I didn't do that before. So let's take the weight to the left leg. Bring that right knee up and tap behind. Up and tap. Good, last one. Back to strong standing pose. We're gonna lift the left knee up, let it open, tap the floor, back in and down. lift up, out, and tap. So maybe your hands come to the hips, just so you know you're not turning a whole lot. If you're turning a lot to the left, you're gonna feel it in your right knee, and we don't wanna do that. Up, out, tap, up, in, and down. Let's do one more. Go all the way through it, wherever you are. Next time you're back to standing, Tadasana. Shift the weight to the left leg, bring that right knee up, let it open, tap, and back. So again, really strong on that side. Your hands could be to the hips just to kind of notice if you're turning. Or they could be out for balance, whatever you need. Good. Next one's the last one. Go all the way through it. Back to standing. So for the next one, we're gonna kick the left leg out in front. Toes have to be active up towards the knee. Then take the knees together and then the heel towards the glute. Kick it out, knees come together, heel towards the glute. So your knee's not here when you're taking the heel towards the glutes, together. Kick out, heel towards the glute. Kick out, knees together, heel towards the glute. Kick out. Good, last one, go all the way through it, kick out, knees together, heel towards the glute, back to standing. And then Tadasana, tailbone lengthens, heart lifts. Shift the weight to the left leg, kick that right leg out. Heel to get, or knees together, heel towards the glute. Kick out, knees together, heel towards the glute. Make sure you're breathing. This gets into the hamstring quite a bit. This is one of those muscles that can get Charlie horses. So it may feel tight. Good, next one's the last one, go all the way through, and then back to standing. So now we're gonna do this side one. So the thing to look for though is that you're not totally crunching down on the right side. And again, if you need support, have the wall or a chair close by. So we're gonna take the weight to the right leg, left toes lift towards the knee, out and back. Now if you can, keep that foot from touching the floor. If you need to touch the floor, totally go for it. But it's that idea of balancing more on that right side. Good, next one's the last one, go all the way through it, back to Tadasana. Tailbone lengthens, heart lifts, trying to even bring your neck into alignment. Shift to the left side, right leg goes out and back. Make sure you're breathing. Let it go as far out as it will and back. Good. Next one's the last one, go all the way through it. Back to center, nice. Okay, good. So now we're gonna just kind of add on to that pose, that one we just did. If you want, your hands can come to star or they can come out to the side, whatever feels natural, or even hands to the hips. But we're gonna lean to one side and then feet come to the floor and lean to the other. So it's a star, shooting star pose. Core is really strong, so even your neck's in alignment, right? Like you've got this whole alignment happening for the body, even as you shift from one side to the other. Tailbone lengthens, even your heart's lifted, your gaze is looking ahead. Good, one more to each side. And then let's go back to center. Nice, nicely done. Let's do a little bit more leg work to actually get into the calves and the hamstrings. So we do this one quite a bit. Bend your knees, right heel comes out in front. So you've got hip width distance happening in the legs. Keep those right toes pulled up towards you, even as you take your heart towards the toes. Hands could be to the hips or maybe to the thigh, or for some of you, maybe even the floor, just depends. Should be a calf, hamstring, good stretch happening. Good, now draw the belly in, engage your core to bring the heart up. Let's step that foot back. Back to Tadasana. We're gonna go to the second side. Bend the knees, left heel comes out in front. Again, you want there to be some distance, and then let your heart come forward. You get to control the stretch with how far you take your heart forward. Hands could be to the hips, thighs, or maybe even to the floor. Deep breath in, long breath out. Engage your core, protect your low back as you start to come up. Good, step that left foot back into place. Back to Tadasana. I'm gonna take a sip of water here. Good, let's take the arms out from the shoulders. Can you see me okay? All right. Small circles. Slow, small circles. Good. Pause for a moment, let your hands relax. Let's come into some scissors. One arm reaches high, the other reaches back, and then switch. So there's this action that happens in both directions, ahead or above and behind. So the rest of the body stays pretty still. Watch that your head's not moving around a lot with this action. Good, last one, and then pause. Nice, let's take the arms shoulder height again, flip the palms, take the arms back. Rotate them backwards. Good, just a couple more. And then flip the palms, release the arms. Shake it off a little bit. Let's do a little rolling action. So bring the arms in front of you, bend elbows, roll the arms really fast. Don't hit yourself if you can help it. Arms are far enough away, so you may have to lengthen the tailbone. Good, now reverse the action. Maybe a little stiffer, maybe it's not as fast. Good, reverse, pause, reverse again. Pause, reverse again. Good, let the arms go, shake it off again. Nice. So now we're gonna rotate the thumbs in and then rotate the thumbs out. So the shoulder blades come towards each other on the front body and then towards each other on the back. Rest of the body stays pretty still. Again, tailbone lengthens, heart lifts, you're looking straight ahead. Try and feel that action happening. It can vary a lot from one side to the other, so really listening close, know how far to go. Good, and then let's pause, shake it off a little bit. Now, we're gonna take the right foot forward, give a slight bend to your knees. The arms are gonna come up, maybe like right in front of your face, and do a little, like you're doing a punching bag. So the elbows are a little wider than they were just a moment ago, but we're still getting that action happening in the arms. Now remember which direction you're going, pause, step that left foot forward, reverse the action with the arms. Slight bend in that left knee, giving you that strong standing pose just to punch that out. And then let it go, shake it off a little. Pardon me. Good, good. Let's do a little bit more more work for the shoulder blades. So let the arms come high, kind of apart from each other. We're gonna drop the elbows in towards the waistline a little bit, bringing those shoulders towards each other and then down the back. Hold that action as you bring the elbows to the waistline, and then again, hold that action on the back body, even as you take the arms up and then back to the waistline. So it's a really slow movement here. Kind of pulling the arms through mud. Feel like you're just really slowly pulling them up. Good, let's do one more. And shake it off. Good, arms come out again. Bring those elbows down a little bit so your shoulder blades come towards each other and down the back. Hold that action as the elbows come towards the waistline, palms out, and then high up, and then in towards the waistline. Again, kind of slow, little control. Good, last one. And then release that. Nice. Let's take the right arm and reach it forward, reach high, touch behind you somewhere, and then reach high to come out of it. Good, go to the left, up, back, and touch, and release, going back to the right side, and to the left. Good, we're gonna do one more each side. So really engage and pull forward wherever your hand touches, that's where it's meant to be. Reach high and forward to come out, go to the left. Last one, up, back, touch. Nice. So we're gonna come in and out of standing pose and chair. So for chair, ideally, you're taking your sits bones directly down towards the floor. So you're, if you can watch it, that you're not pulling your heart forward, you're staying up. Your knees track over your toes. Make sure you're pushing into your heels. If all the weight is in your toes, that kind of shortens the stretch on the legs. Hands can be to the side, or if they're out, awesome. Good, then we're gonna come to stand, bow forward, let your heart come forward, clasp the hands to the low back, maybe they start to come overhead. Good, engage your core, hands come back to the hips, slowly bring the heart up, let your sits bones go straight down towards the floor. Chair pose, watch where your weight is in your feet. Come to stand, bow forward, hands can be behind the back, let the arms come overhead. Good, and again, take your time, hands come to the hips, draw the belly in, lift the heart, sits bones go down towards the floor, knees track over the toes. Hands could be out, arms could be out in front. Good, we're gonna root down again. Bow forward, hands behind the hips, maybe overhead. Hands come back to the hips, draw the belly in. We're gonna do this just one more time, chair pose. Root down, lift up, come forward, clasp hands, maybe overhead. Hands to the hips, draw the belly in, slowly, slowly lift the heart up, and give a little shake off. So tree, time to get into the trees. Have a wall or a chair close by if you need it for balance. We did a little opening for the hips already with some leg work, so they should be good to go. We're gonna take the weight into that left leg. Bring that right knee, lift it up a little bit, let it open. You can even grab the foot and bring it high. If you like, just make sure you're not kind of pushing into your knee joint area. Hands can be to the heart, overhead, whatever you need for balance. Keep the shoulders from creeping up too high into the ears, and make sure your focal point's straight ahead. If you fall out of it, come back into it. We're gonna just be here for a moment, breathing. When you're ready, let that first side go. Good. Shake the body off a little bit, give it a little wiggle. Back to Tadasana, coming into the strong standing pose. Again, tailbone lengthens, heart lifts. Take the weight into the right leg, right leg this time. Left knee lifts up, let it open a little bit, and maybe you're even grabbing it to bring it high. It just depends. You could have your toes be to the floor for a rooted tree. Trying to keep your hips level. I know that's a little harder sometimes. Hands can be to the heart or overhead, and again, just watch where the shoulders are. Try and bring those shoulders down the back like we just have been doing. Be aware of your breath. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll come out from that side and shake it off. Nice. Let's come into some warriors. So I'll cue the warriors from the top of the mat. If you want to, you can go in and out of down dog. And so always coming back to the strong standing pose, Tadasana. Hands to the heart. Good. Warrior one with the right foot forward. Left foot maybe steps back, or if you're in down dog, you're taking that right foot forward. So giving yourself a wide enough stance with your legs that you've got this ability to keep your hips square to the top of the mat. Hands can be over to the heart or overhead. And again, there's that awareness of the heart not pulling forward and the head coming forward. If you can, keep everything in alignment. Pushing back into that left heel so that left leg gets really strong. Down dog, or place hands to the heart, left foot steps forward. Good. Warrior one, second side, Virabhadrasana one. Second side, right foot steps back or bringing that left foot forward. Have that soft bend to it. And again, trying to keep those hips square, heart lifted, even necks in alignment. Hands could be to the heart, or if they're overhead, you're trying to bring those ears to be in line with the upper arms, pushing back into that right heel to really fire up that leg. Good, let's take hands to the heart, right foot steps forward. So warrior two, Virabhadrasana two, left foot steps back, we're gonna have that right leg forward. The arms to extend out, your hips turn a little bit to the left. That right knee keeps that soft bend. See about rooting your feet down, really engaging the soles of your feet into the floor. So you feel that action through the inner thighs, through the legs. Deep breath in, long breath out. Let's take hands to the heart, left foot steps forward or go through your down dog. Virabhadrasana two, second side. So the left leg is forward with that soft bend. Your right leg's back. You've turned your heart a little bit to the right. Arms find that extension and reach. Your gaze can be in line with your torso or maybe turning over to look over that front arm. Pardon me. Again, pushing back into that right heel so that leg is really fired up. Notice if you're pulling forward at all. If you're here, see about bringing those shoulders in line with the hips. Deep belly breath in, long belly breath out. Let's take hands to the heart, right foot forward or down dog. Good, let's come back into the warrior two. Left foot steps back. Arms find that extension and reach. We're gonna move into triangle. Straighten the right leg. Hinge to come forward. Right hand to the outside of the right leg. If your left arm's high and that feels uncomfortable, you can bring the hand to the hip. Draw your belly in. Let's go back to that warrior two. One more time, triangle. Straighten the leg, hinge at the hip. Right arm to the outside. Good. Back to the warrior two. Hands to the heart. Let's step that left foot forward. Warrior two, second side. Right foot steps back. Take a moment to find that alignment. Left knee, arms extend and reach. It can be very different from one side to the other, so really honoring what this side of your body is telling you right now. We're gonna straighten the left leg, hinge. Left arm comes to the outside of the left leg. So you're kind of aligning your torso to be in line with the leg. Good, back to that warrior two. Engage your core, come up, bend that left knee. Trikonasana again. Left leg, tilt. Find that extension and reach through the arms. Good, back to the warrior two. Hands to the heart, let's step forward. Or down dog. Good, so crescent lunge. Left foot steps back, you can root the heel to the floor and then turn so you're balancing on those toes. And you want there to be some distance so your hips are square. You're not looking to tightrope, you're got train tracks for the legs. Hands could be to the hips or overhead. Again, we're trying to keep the shoulders over the hips and the neck in alignment. Let the shoulders drop from the ears. We've been practicing this in class, so if you're ready to come into airplane, let your arms drop to the side, give a little push off to let that left leg lift behind you. Push through that left heel, keep your core engaged. And then when you're ready, come to stand. Yay, nicely done everybody. Okay, strong standing pose, or you're in down dog. We're gonna go crescent lunge with the right leg back. Again, you can root your heel down and then turn so you're balancing on those toes. Hips are square, heart's lifted. Maybe hands are to the heart or you're letting them come overhead for a moment. Getting into a good stretch on that back leg. Feel that stretch for a moment. And then we're going to transition into a balancing pose of airplane. Arms drop, push off with that left leg, let your right leg lift behind you. Push through that right heel, try and keep your hips square. Watch that you're not stacking the hips, and then come to stand when you're ready. Nicely done. All right, let's take a seat. Legs out in front. So we're gonna do a little low back work here. Moving any flesh away, just so you can kind of feel the sits bones, those bones that can push down into the earth. And then let's come forward. So if you have a strap, you can use that. You can wrap them around your feet and let your heart come forward. Ideally, hopefully you can see this a little bit. You have a little bit of space between your legs. So if your feet come together, that's fine, but we're trying to keep a little bit like that hip width distance between the feet as you take your heart forward. So the heart comes forward. Shoulders stay on the back body, even your neck stays in alignment. So this action may not be a big one, right? It just depends, especially when you're thinking of that rooting down of the sits bones, lifting up and taking the heart forward. This hopefully is targeting your back. I don't know what she sees. There's something out there in the backyard. The door's open, so. Good, slowly lift your heart. Let's tuck that right foot into the left, somewhere, high or low. Just depends on what feels right for you. Make sure that left leg is out from the hip. So if it's kind of out to the left a little bit, see if you can align it to be right out from your hip. And again, that right foot can be wherever you need it to be. We're gonna come over that left leg, just the left side. Again, think of your sits bones rooting down. You get really long through this space, through the abdomen and the low back. Let your heart come towards those left toes that are active, drawn towards you. Root down through the sits bones, lift up. You can even come back if you need to realign yourself. Keep your shoulders back, neck back. And then slowly, slowly coming up. Let's go to a twist. Again, lifting the ribs up from the waistline. Twist the left waistline to the right. Left foot's still gonna be active, drawn towards you. Left hand maybe is on the right leg somewhere, right hand's around the back. Maybe your head, neck, and eyes even follow to the right. Watch that left shoulder. I can feel my left shoulder pulling forward, so I'm bringing it onto the back body. Try and twist from the left waistline, and then let it go. Let's take that right leg out in front. Bend the left foot, bring that in. Again, kind of get that rooting down through the sits bones. Make sure that right leg's straight out from the hip. You may have to shift around here a little bit. Root the sits bones, lift the heart, and go towards those right toes that are active, drawn towards you. So again, it may not be a big movement, right? You're keeping your neck in alignment, shoulders in alignment, using your breath. Root the sits bones, lift up through the heart. And then slowly, slowly coming back to center. Good. Lift up here again. We're going to go into a twist. Keep your shoulders on the back and twist from that right waistline. Go as far with that right waistline as you can, and then wherever your hands fall out, that's where it's meant to be. Keep your right foot active, pushing through the heel. Maybe you turn your gaze away from the body, looking left. Again, watch that that right shoulder's not leading the cause here. It's not pulling. And then slowly, slowly, let's come back around. Bring that left leg out in front again. And we're gonna go forward one more time. So rooting down, push through your heels, find that hinge and take your heart forward. If you're using a strap, awesome. If you're just bowing forward, make sure you're breathing. Again, trying to root down and lift up so you get that space in your low back. And we're gonna let it go. Nice. Bring the soles of the feet together here. And if it feels okay, you're gonna kind of bring them as close into your body as that feels okay. Hands can be behind you or maybe in front, just depends. Again, lifting up through the ribs, take a couple rounds of breath. Feel the soles of the feet kind of drawing in towards each other so that fires things up through the inner thigh, pelvic floor maybe. Good, so wherever you are, let your hands come behind the back, legs come out in front, give them a little wiggle, and let's move into lying on our back. have anything you may need to transition into Shavasana, have that close by. Let's do one hip opening here. So knees are bent, soles of the feet to the floor. Let's go to a reclining pigeon with the right leg up, rested on the left knee. Maybe start to bring that left thigh in towards you. If you're just here, think of your right toes drawing towards your right knee. No matter where you are, think of your right toes drawing towards your right knee. Good, let's bring that left foot to the floor. If you have it lifted, right foot to the floor, we'll go right into the second side. Left knee relaxes on the right, or sorry, left ankle on the right knee. Draw those left toes towards the left knee. You can stay here, trying to find equalness in the sits bones or the pelvis, sort of squaring it up. Maybe you start to bring that right thigh in towards you. Take a couple rounds of breath. If you've lifted the right leg, bring that foot to the floor, left foot to the floor. Let your feet separate a little bit and then slowly let your knees shift from one side to the other. Windshield wipers. Maybe the shoulders stay connected and it's the side of the body that lifts one side to the other. And then coming back, let's bring the head and heart up to meet the knees. Curl the knees in towards the chest, head and heart come in. Curl everything really tight. And exhale to let it all go. Release the legs, the arms relax out with the palms open towards the ceiling. And deep breath in and a long breath out. Relax and let go of any tension or stress the body may be holding. Deep breath in, long breath out, just to let it all go. Repeat if you need to, noticing where you may be holding on to tension. Targeting those spots, release. Very slowly and softly, Returning to this moment, to this breath. Again, noticing where you may be holding tension still, breathe into that space. Let it go. Let's start to wiggle finger toes, maybe taking the arms overhead to stretch from the fingers to the toes. And then we're going to bend the knees, let the soles of the feet come to the floor. Roll into the right side where we'll pause just for a moment to allow ourselves a little space to transition. Allow yourself to come to a comfortable seat when you're ready. Take hands out to the side for a full breath in as the arms sweep up, and exhale. Hands draw down both heart. Thank you everybody for sharing your Tuesday night practice with me and each other. The light and divine of me bows to the light and divine within each of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Annie.
Thanks, Annie.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who all did we have?
We'll see you Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's go out for Chinese.